Hi, my name is Leah English, and I'm presenting some research I've been working on with Dr. Jenny Pop at the University of Arkansas to evaluate methods for estimating the economic contributions of agriculture. While we focus primarily on economics, production decisions made by farmers are often driven by economic considerations. As the consequences of these decisions can greatly impact both water and soil resources, it's important to consider both economic and environmental factors when determining best management practices for agriculture. Here, we evaluate two methods for estimating economic contributions and hope to use the information gained for future studies combining both economic and environmental impact analysis. So to begin, we know from sales and employment data that agriculture generates a certain amount of value within the ag industry itself. But with contribution analysis, we want to look a little bit further into how agriculture affects the overall economy. For instance, when farmers purchase inputs from local suppliers, they're stimulating the economy. Or when farm workers spend their wages at local grocery stores, shops, or restaurants, this also affects the state economy and labor force. Economic contribution studies are fairly common, with the vast majority being conducted using a method known as hypothetical extraction, or what we term HEM. But in recent years, researchers have been looking at a different method that some are calling the export-based method, which we call EBM. So what we wanted to do was to compare the two methods and see if there are any substantial differences in results. And if so, we wanted to investigate where those differences might be coming from. To do this, we conducted two separate economic contribution analyses. Each analysis used the same baseline data and same study area, but differed in the analysis method. For HEM, we used in-plan software and their standard contribution protocol. For EBM, we used a software tool called ASAM that was developed by Philip Watson and others at the University of Idaho. In Table 1, you can see that each method yielded the same results in terms of the gross contributions. This was to be expected since those values represent the actual values that were reported for the ag sector and essentially form the baseline for each analysis. In Table 2, we show the direct and indirect agricultural contributions. Direct contributions represent values being credited directly to the ag sector. Indirect contributions are values credited to the ag sector, but that stem from other areas of the economy. Comparing those contributions across methods, export-based results were 11% lower for jobs, 12% lower for wages, and 9% lower for value added. So we did see differences, but why? Well, it looks like the differences can be explained by variation in how economic values are tracked and analyzed within each model. So if you look deeper into the models, we concluded that the way the methods are set up ends up leading to different results that essentially answer two different questions. For HEM, we were looking at the question of what effect would we see across the economy if all agricultural value disappeared from the state? And from there, the model then estimates the effect on other industries as dollars move between agriculture and other sectors across the economy. With economic base, the model asks how much value is brought into the state through the production of exports, stimulated by activity within the agriculture industry. Here, the value of the state economy is basically divided into the parts related to generating exports and evaluated from there. Each of these methods provides a means for evaluating how agriculture interacts with other areas of the economy. So there are both ways of looking at economic contributions. They just look at them in different ways. And even though the methods produce different results, each set of results can offer important economic insights. Because differences in economic values can impact decisions made by agricultural and environmental managers or policymakers, researchers should carefully consider the question being asked and answered by each approach and choose the methods accordingly. And going forward, we've recently been involved in some studies attempting to tie together economic and environmental values, and have found it somewhat difficult to bring these pieces together, which is why we began investigating EBM. So for future work, we plan to investigate how the information gained through each approach may be used in conjunction with environmental impact assessments to see which way would most effectively evaluate economic and environmental outcomes together. Thank you.